Chapter 1 Above the Pace 4. Formulated simply, overreaching means to pursue an idea past the limitation it has. To me, this was easily illusioning that by results accomplished I arrived from a former without an assessment worthy, at which the basic question is a relevant topic. That is, does the disregardment from an idea as a void of meaning phrases it away from lacking its purpose? Thus, do elemental purposes, such like finding a leading path, are a necessity of fiction and ruled on one's self to interpret where an example guidance starts? For that, I still think often about. That is, that I got the impression these elemental purposes are often paradoxical by their own nature. Hence, to figure a path means formulating it. But that is impossible while walking the same, hence, that's only a walked. But so easily outdone with by this. To not outdo one's person seems to be substantial to overreaching. So it is not similarly becoming an idol of own guidance, which would thus then only be a walked pathway. Just from that I knew this to myself, empty care, meaning to let guidance as an established wanting to acquire, but seeking it would fail. One seemed to opposition every self-given essential. This, the elemental purpose in pursuit, disguised itself as originated from call of, because the strife of the mind left only this to be in the known nonetheless, by the mere observation, decompleted its absence as a possibility. For this I already had fallen to overreaching, and there not seemed to be a solution easy, or if so one at all. Contemplating in solitude while meditational practices had become available to me as possible means. The reminder of death seemed not of my intuition, but exactly where to start from. The afterlife in Egyptian mythology, called Duat, is still a constantly present theme, even being ordered around the field of reeds called paradise in these legends. And for that, a reminder of hell being part of knowing to exist in heaven, or the bringing of obstacles by the gods in immortal life throughout different pantheons, making travel through and in the underworld possible, seemingly presented itself again as an unperceivable boundary that forces itself even onto these entities in those pantheons, and for it being an ever constant. With this to be assumed in my meditations, the obstacle of an ever constant distance, this overreaching as well as bringing me to halt and forcing an observation to be itself, interpreted as such. Simply spoken, I figured overreaching is starting at observing, but outwild by understanding that this idea itself must cease. For it, every completion has to formulate why it is not of purpose, used to stay whiling in it by reading to that it is only already that. Endings, with anticare or other means to it being defined by the one ever constant, that it's always starting at being a distance.